Spill your beans.
What is up, cocksuckers? Woodcock Army, Woodcock enthusiasts, Woodcockers, I don't fucking know, okay? Gue masih belum bisa memutuskan untuk manggil lo pada itu pakai sebutan apa. But yeah, back at it again with me, Woodcock TV. I talk about movies, you know, like reviews, news, recommendations, whatever it is that is related to movies, gue akan ngomongin. Dan gue itu lebih aktif sebenarnya di platform lain, ya, woodcock.tv di Instagram dan woodcock TV di TikTok. Expect daily uploads on those two platforms. Tapi kalau di YouTube ini gue baru mulai konsisten lagi, so you can expect to see me like once every week on this platform, okay? Doain aja supaya gue bisa konsisten. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, supaya gue bisa lebih semangat lagi untuk upload di YouTube, okay? So, today gue nggak pengen ngomongin soal satu film yang spesifik, tapi gue pengen ngerespon ke beberapa pertanyaan kalian yang udah gue compile ya dari kolom komentar di salah satu video gue yang gue post mungkin kayaknya hari Minggu atau Senin kemarin ya, where I asked you guys to drop some questions for me to answer in a YouTube video. So yeah, this is a Q&A video, but I'm not gonna answer like all questions karena ada banyak dan video ini akan sangat panjang kalau gue jawabin semua. So maybe let's start with 10 questions, okay? 5 from Instagram, 5 from TikTok. So without further ado ya, tanpa banyak basa-basi lagi, mending gue langsung mulai jawabin pertanyaan-pertanyaan kalian yang menarik nih ya. Okay. Pertama dari Wildang Sat. Okay, firstly, you're my favorite movie critic. I just want to know, what's the story of when you first started making contents about movies? Not gonna lie, being a film critic / reviewer low-key interests me. Also, would love to see all of your physical media collection tour of music and movies. Okay, first of all, Wildang Sat ya. Ini sebenarnya agak berat sih kalau lu bilang gue adalah seorang kritik film ya. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a movie critic, you know what I mean? Like, there are people who actually do that for a living, you know, that's their craft, to write film criticism, while I am just a guy talking in front of a camera, occasionally, mostly on my phone, ya kan? Dan kebetulan gue suka aja ngomongin film dan membahas kekurangan kelebihan mereka, kenapa gue suka, kenapa gue nggak suka. I wouldn't describe myself, you know, in a formal sense as a movie critic. There's an actual art to film critics, people write, and it's really difficult, jauh lebih susah daripada apa yang gue lakukan gitu loh. Cuman ya ngomongin pendapat gue, sometimes, or most of the time incoherently, ya kan. Nulis kritik film itu susah banget, okay? I'm flattered, thank you for the kind words, but I'm not a movie critic. I'm just a guy who talks about movies online, basically, you know? I would consider this type of content more of like entertainment than like criticism. Okay, now I'm gonna answer your other questions ya. Cerita tentang gimana mulainya Woodcock kan basically. So Woodcock started as a trio of college friends who shared the same interest in movies, being absolutely jobless as fuck during the pandemic ya, tahun 2021. Terus kita bingung mau ngapain, akhirnya kita memutuskan untuk bikin kayak semacam podcast, YouTube or whatever. But then like we graduated college and we all went our separate ways. Ya, ada yang pindah keluar kota and everything. Jadi itu vakum sampai akhirnya gue dapet kerja. Dan pas gue mulai kerja, gue bilang ke temen-temen gue kayak izin ya, gue mau ngelanjutin Woodcock gitu. Karena gue pikir kalau gue kerja 9 to 5 seharian selama 5 kali dalam 1 minggu, gue bakal gila. So I needed like an outlet, you know what I mean? Like I started like reviewing movies weekly, yang kalian sampai sekarang masih bisa lihat ya di YouTube gue. Kayaknya pertama gue ngomongin Green Knight deh. And after that I experimented with like different platforms kayak TikTok sama Reels, dan akhirnya TikTok itu yang pertama kali meledak sih. Shout out My Sassy Girl, shout out Pengabdi Setan 2. Review gue untuk 2 film itu adalah review pertama gue yang FYP ya, dan yang membuat orang jadi pertama kali kenal Woodcock itu siapa sih gitu loh. So, and then you know I went through some ups and downs, pernah vakum juga lama 6 bulan lebih, and then 2024 gue mulai konsisten lagi sampai sekarang ya. Kalian bisa ngeliat gue ngepost kayak basically hampir tiap hari lah di TikTok sama Instagram. Terus lu ngomong kayak being a film critic / reviewer low-key interests you, okay? Yeah, by all means, start doing it for fun dulu sih sebenarnya, cause like I have a full-time job right now, okay? So this is not what I do full-time. Karena sebenarnya ya, truth be told, I'm not making anything out of this Woodcock thing, at least compared to my actual like salary ya. Kayak maksudnya gue nggak bisa meninggalkan pekerjaan gue untuk ngerjain Woodcock full-time, cause like yeah, it's just not feasible. So if you want a career in this, like I suggest you like do some research dulu. Start with writing reviews and posting them online, and just do it for yourself dulu lah. Jangan pikirin kayak lo mau menghasilkan uang dari ini gitu, because it's gonna take a lot of time and effort. Okay, physical media collection tour of music and movies. I'll do that sometime, but not in this video. Terus ada dari Filmindo Source juga ngomong, aside from being a film critic, are you interested in being a filmmaker someday, or perhaps at least work in the film industry? Not really. Ya nggak tahu ya, mungkin dulu gue sempet ada kepikiran gitu loh, untuk gue bisa mungkin berkarya di dunia film gitu kan. Gue pernah magang di Palari, tapi itu juga sebagai kayak social media marketing and research intern aja sih, bukan kayak bekerja di balik produksi film. And I don't really see myself working in film, you know what I mean? I just don't think that I belong in that sphere. Kayak gue lebih suka dan lebih bisa untuk membahas film gitu ya, ngomongin film daripada gue buat film gitu. Ya, who am I kidding? Like, I've never made a movie, I've never wrote a script. Jadi kayaknya enggak sih, I don't see myself being a filmmaker. But that can change, of course, like seiring bertambahnya umur dan pengalaman ya kan. Ya, ini baru pertanyaan kedua dan gue udah ngabisin berapa menit anjing. Let's go through these faster, okay? Fest Soup. Okay, lo nanya, what one Blu-ray would you save if your house was on fire? Ooh, that's tough. That's a good question actually. Let me check my closet. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, maybe gue punya jawabannya. Eric Rohmer's Six Moral Tales. Ini box set pertama gue dan satu-satunya yang gue punya dari Criterion. It's not even a box set, you know, like it's just, I don't think this is a box set, you know. A box set would be like yang Fellini, Ingmar Bergman, terus kayak Agnes Varda. I love Eric Rohmer. Like, some of my favorite movies itu ada di Six Moral Tales ini, My Night at Maud's, Claire's Knee, Love in the Afternoon especially. And it also has not just the movies but also the book. Ya, ini buku cerita yang ditulis Eric Rohmer juga yang akhirnya dijadiin film. Lanjut ya, Yo Came. Okay, whatever. Kenapa 2001 menjadi film favorit abang? Emang iya ya? Emang itu adalah film favorit gue ya? How can you tell? How can you tell that 2001 is my favorite movie of all time? Honestly, that's such a difficult question to answer. But basically like 2001 itu film yang setiap kali gue tonton, gue tuh selalu diingatkan lagi tentang kenapa gue secinta itu sama film gitu loh. Like, it's a movie that constantly reminds me of the magic of movies, you know, movie magic, the magic of filmmaking and whatever. Kayak, I'm always in awe when I am watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. Recently, I just rewatched it again untuk ulang tahun gue ya. I watched it di tengah malam tuh ya, jam 12. Karena gue udah lama banget gak nonton, dan it truly felt like the first time again. You know, like, no matter how many times I revisit this movie, like, I always feel like it's the first time watching movies. Film yang terasa personal banget sama lu apa, Bang? Hirokazu Koreeda's Still Walking. I won't say much, but that truly feels super personal to me. Oke, tadi yang ngomong Yodiansyah, by the way. Terus ada lagi nih, Steve Haikal ngomong pendapat mas tentang daerah atau kabupaten yang sulit dapat jadwal film yang udah tayang di festival, contoh Crocodile Tears. Ya, ini salah satu masalah yang kita terus hadapi ya di industri film di Indonesia tentang pembagian dan pendistribusian layar gitu ya. Gue sering banget dapat komen gitu ya di video-video gue tentang film-film yang nggak masuk ke bioskop di kota-kota tertentu. And it's actually like very sad, you know, like us Jakartans, we should feel lucky that we get so many good movies. Sebenarnya yang megang dari itu adalah franchise bioskop sih, kayak 21, CGV, Cinepolis. Mereka sendiri yang menentukan apakah sebuah film itu akan ditayangkan di satu bioskop atau enggak. So, the ball is actually in their hands, but it's not that simple juga, karena mereka akan memperhitungkan potensi penjualan tiket dari sebuah film juga. Film-film kayak Crocodile Tears gitu mungkin ya nggak akan menjual tiket seberapa gitu ketimbang mereka naruh Salmokji gitu, misalnya di Pekalongan, let's say, or di Lombok gitu kan. So, can't blame them 100% because they're running a business after all. It's unfortunate, but I do wish like 21 mempertimbangkan gitulah, kasih lah kayak beberapa showtime gitu untuk film-film tertentu yang sebenarnya emang nggak punya potensi besar untuk penjualan tiket, tapi film ini udah dinanti-nantikan oleh sinefil di kota itu, you know. Tapi terus menyuarakan lah ya, jangan berhenti untuk komentar di Instagramnya 21 karena mereka baca kok, gue tahu banget mereka baca, so don't stop making noise, alright? So, gila ini udah panjang banget ya. So, I think I'm just gonna speed run through the TikTok questions. Ada dari user 321 bla 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 bla. Okay, your version of incredibly niche movie list. Example, protagonists having nosebleed before reaching their prime or sleep apnea representatives. Gue pernah bikin sih list di Letterboxd yang super spesifik kayak ya nggak spesifik banget sih, cuman kayak main karakter pergi ke bioskop bokep gitu ya, bioskop porno, dan di situ ada let me check my Letterboxd. Di list itu kalau nggak salah ada Taxi Driver ya. Okay, I have a couple more ternyata. An American Werewolf in London, Happy Together, and The Departed. Lanjut ya. Bang, patokan lu apa rating film di Letterboxd dari The Typewriter? Honestly, just vibes. Ultimately kayak Letterboxd rating itu cuman angka-angka yang arbitrary. Okay, is that correct? I don't know. But yeah, arbitrary numbers. So yeah, I just go by vibes. Kayak maksudnya tuh rating di Letterboxd buat gue nggak saklek gitu loh. Kayak it just depends on my mood that day, you know, like on whether or not the food I ate was great, you know, before I went to see the movie. Kayak banyak faktornya lah, dan itu cuma angka yang merepresentasikan tingkat enjoyment gue terhadap satu film. So I don't really think that much about rating movies in Letterboxd. Fatur Rahman, I know you bro. We're mutuals, we're ooms. Okay, best Indonesian films pre-21st century. I'm gonna admit that gue kurang bawa knowledge banget nih untuk film-film Indonesia sebelum abad ke-21 ya. Tapi yang jadi highlight buat gue itu ada Lewat Jam Malam, a classic, of course, dan Turang yang gue tonton di Jakarta Film Week tahun lalu. Terus, film apa yang badly rated tapi menurut lo pribadi bagus atau having so much fun nontonnya? Oke, ini akan gue gabungin sama pertanyaan Psycholet juga deh ya. Greatest films that are 3.0 and below ratingnya. So apparently, pas gue cari-cari, ternyata Trash Humpers itu ratingnya 3,0. So I can't put that technically, tapi itu salah satu film yang ratingnya jelek yang gue suka banget nontonnya. I would say that Megalopolis is pretty fun and out there, if you know what I mean. Kayak itu film yang unik, yang punya visi, ya meskipun visinya gak jelas, tapi berani beda dan original gitu loh. Jujur gue suka, tapi ya obviously ratingnya berapa sih? Let me check. 2,3, oke. Terus apa lagi ya? Oh, Cannibal Holocaust, you know, itu dapat rating 2.6. I like that movie. Pretty gross, disgusting. But yeah, you can't say that movie doesn't leave a mark. Terus ada apa lagi nih? Danur, Gading. What else? The Mummy, ya, The Mummy yang baru, Lee Cronin, itu juga dapat rating di bawah 3 setahu gue deh. 2,7 chat, gila. Padahal seru loh, gue suka filmnya. Oh fuck, Dune by David Lynch from 1984, of course. Oh my god, that movie got a 2.8 rating on Letterboxd. Dan menurut gue itu adalah versi Dune yang paling berani, paling original, paling gila. It captures the psychedelic nature of this world in ways that Denis Villeneuve's Dune could only hope on achieving. Terus Skinamarink itu juga. Skinamarink 2,8. I love that movie. You know, it terrified me. Okay, so that's it. Terakhir ya. Oke, intinya nih dari Silan, dia ngomong, ada nggak remake atau reboot yang lebih bagus dari originalnya? I think so, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna sound crazy, but Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria. Holy shit, that movie was peak chat. Gila sih. That may be like sacrilegious, you know, to horror fans and Argento fans, tapi kayak, sumpah, film itu memberikan gue impact yang jauh-jauh lebih ngena daripada versinya Dario Argento. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm sure that's a hot take actually. Little Women juga lebih bagus yang versinya Greta Gerwig daripada yang ada Winona Ryder sama Christian Bale masih muda itu. What else? Oldboy. Ya, versi Spike Lee. Garing. Gak mungkin sih. Apa lagi? I would say that Blade Runner 2049 is on par with Blade Runner Ridley Scott. Oh, The Departed, of course, right? The Departed sama Infernal Affairs. They're both bangers. You can watch them back to back. Mereka dua-duanya seru banget. Also like Nosferatu-nya F.W. Murnau, terus Nosferatu-nya Werner Herzog, sama Nosferatu-nya Robert Eggers tuh tiga-tiganya gokil semua. If you want to include Coppola's Dracula di situ, boleh juga. And I think that's it ya. But yeah, it was fun answering those questions. Mudah-mudahan nggak terlalu panjang ya videonya. I'm gonna edit this to fucking oblivion. But yeah, thank you guys for the questions. Let me know if I should do more of these Q&As. And don't forget to follow my socials, the TikTok, Instagram. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'll see you guys at the movies. Bye-bye.